Hey, welcome everyone to Mystics Outlook. Got Cardell W. Jr. here and Wilson Tarpe Jr. The Washington Mystics. They're now one game over 500. They're in Seattle this evening. Took on the Storm. Washington had a really good first half. Then we saw the Storm, adjust in game. They came out of the half. The Storm seemed to take away most of what was working for Washington. Washington went nearly 9 minutes in the third quarter without registering a field goal. Cardell, you always talk about the importance of defense. Defense kept them in this game to where, if you don't, to not register a field goal for 9 minutes and still be in the game, only one thing keeps you in striking distance, right? And then we saw them do what young teams typically don't do, which is respond with a poor third quarter with a very strong fourth quarter on the road. And we saw them do some of the things that we've been talking about earlier in this year that they may have not done in the past, which was execute late on both ends of the ball. But Cardell, I want to get your thoughts on this one as we watch Washington move to 11-10 on the year with the 74-69 win over the Seattle Storm on the road.
I mean, started out in the first half as a defensive battle, slugfest. Neither team could really score easily or efficiently. And then in the second half, the third and the fourth quarters, it was just a tale of haymakers, honestly. Let's call it what it was. Seattle came out, in the third and, hit the Mystics with a hell of a haymaker. They locked them up, held the Mystics in the third quarter, 28% from the field, 25% from deep. Forced a few turnovers, and then on their end, they shot 52% from the field, 60% from deep, and they didn't miss a free throw. Neither team missed a free throw, but they didn't miss, and they out rebounded them 8-6. So it seemed like they had control, and it seemed like most of the season, not every game, it seemed like it's always one quarter where the Mystics just they just ice cold. They can't score. They just, for whatever reason, they just get cold offensively. But then they usually respond. It's hit and miss if they respond enough to win. Obviously, as you see with their record being around one game above 500, but tonight they responded and it was a hit. You know what I mean? And they responded in kind. They basically reversed it. They flipped it. They held the Storm to 29% from the field, 0 of 5 from deep. Out rebounded them 8-6. And forced 5 turnovers, especially a couple in crunch time with under a minute left. That was huge, man. Meanwhile, they shot 68% from the field, 66% from deep, 3 or 4 from the line. They had 4 turnovers, but that was earlier in the quarter. Then they basically got it under control and handled business. Sykes with a big clutch, layup over. McBeggar, who was giving them fits inside when she would rotate over due to her size and her length and her athleticism and whatnot. Obviously, one of the most talented bigs in the W, man. But the Mystics, man, they found a way. The defense, it was funny with Dolson did when she came over there, just waved at the ball and made McBeggar dribble the ball out of bounds. And then, Skylar, she had her heel on the line. That was huge. You don't normally see a veteran like her the way she's been playing this year. She's all WNBA for sure. You normally don't see them make those type of mistakes. And then, obviously the last one late, man, with Wheeler. The play, I don't even know what they were trying to run, man. They were just poor communication between her and I believe who was it, Mitchell, or was it was Mitchell who she was trying to get the ball to?
I think it was Mitchell.
Right, and you could tell the poor miscues, uncharacteristics, because Noelle Ivy, the coach, she just, before the clock even got to 0, she just walked down like she was pissed. Like she gave respect to the Mystics coach, but she was pissed. She was like, "Dog, my veteran backcourt should not be making mistakes like this in crunch time at home against a 500 ball club." When we trying to build up, get momentum going to the All-Star break, come out of the All-Star break and hit the ground running, so we can try to make the championship run. You already know what she was thinking, man. But it just shows you the resolve of the Mystics that's been there. But when you got a lot of youngsters in there, they try to figure it out on the fly in their rookie season, trying to figure out how to win. You know what I mean? And that's what we said at the beginning. You know, I was saying at the beginning, like, they're competing, they're talented, they just got to figure out how to win, and they're starting to figure out how to win, which is the third straight win. So they're figuring it out. They beat the Aces, the Sky, and tonight, but this afternoon.
Yep.
So they're starting to figure out how to win these games, and I like the fact that they have to win tough games like this, because that's really teaching them how to win. A blowout you can chalk that up to an off game, but you're not really being tested. They're being tested and responding multiple times throughout the game, man, in many ways, man. So you got to tip your hat to them. They figuring it out. You know, Sykes starting to get a rhythm back. You know, after that, when she got hurt, she came back. It was just stretches of games where she was just very inefficient shooting the ball, but 53% from tonight from the field, with 19 points to lead away from the Mystics, man. Well, you know, for the Mystics, tied for game high, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. They had trouble with her all night, man. It was just one play when she was on a fast break, and she just outran everybody. And that's what we be talking about when we say she's one of the most athletic players in the W. Like, over her career, when she's had injuries because she's so damn explosive. And it's funny, she's a vet now, and they still can't keep up with her. Like, she literally just outran like a rim run, but she's a guard. That's never supposed to happen with a guard. And you saw Wheeler try to put on the Jets and catch up, and she couldn't even get close. She had to just act like she was going for a strip, and it was just a lay-in, man. It's just like, woo. So people don't understand. We've seen her get boards over grinders, stuff like she's a freak.
She had the block tonight on Ezzy.
Yeah, that she's a freak. Making Skylar work, you know, like, this is one of Skylar's worst games of the season. I don't think people realize how Skylar been playing all year, like first team all WNBA caliber level, man. Held her to 4-14 from the field, 10 points, 4 assists. Like, dog, Skylar couldn't even get screens to get her off of them. Like, we could talk about everything else. Like, I'm gonna let you talk on it, but their defense won this game. Point blank, like, from the opening tip, their defense, man. So you gotta tip your hat, man. I think they starting to find their identity where we're gonna hang our hat on the defense and then just don't beat ourselves with turnovers, execute on offense, and we should be good.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, where you stopped is where I'm gonna start at. The defense, there's nothing else to talk about. It was, you don't come back in this game. Again, 9-minute stretch, man. 9 minutes with no field goals. And you kept it, I think at most, it might have been a 5-possession game at most. At the very most. It never got, 18, anything like that. 9-minute stretch. 9 minutes without a field goal against an okay team in the W. You're in trouble. 9 minutes to get out of. You talked about Skylar. Skylar and Neck have both been solid this year. The Storm have a good team. It's tough to play at home. That's always been a tough environment to play in. That's a heck of a W. Like, just honestly, that's a hell of a dub. This is their second 3-game win streak this season. But yeah, just the defense was crazy. And then not only the defense helped you survive that 9-minute stretch, the defense is also what allowed you to flip the script totally to repay Seattle for everything that you went through in the third quarter. You gave it back to them in the fourth. You talked about them being a veteran late in backcourt, whatnot. They had them in hell trying to get free. Literally had them in hell. It's an impressive job defensively. I thought the bigs did a really good job when it was time to go fight on the glass. Dealing with Ezzy and Neck is not fun. Obviously, there's sometimes they're going to win, but for the most part, we saw Ezzy and Neck at times get knocked out the paint, not the Mystics bigs. I thought they did a really good job down there. Skylar driving and trying to string that thing out as long as possible to get the drop-offs to the bigs, and the Mystics did a hell of a job staying attached. As long as she strung that thing out, they did not break from each other until she let the pass go. And even then, I thought Shakira, Kiki, Leah at times as well did a good job of when the Storm guards did drop the ball off to the bigs, not jumping, putting them on the line, not reacting early. They were poised. And being poised on both ends of the floor, and this one was huge. How many times we talk about the turnovers and the late game execution, and if they did this better, they wouldn't be in this situation. This is just a hard fought. This is a good, hard fought, tough win on the road.
And to bring the point home about their defense, especially in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, their defensive rating was a 64.3. Their offensive rating was a 136.6. That's how dominant they were in the money quarter. When you got to bring it home, man, on the road against a top tier team, multiple all-stars, 4 players averaging double figures. Skyler shooting 44, coming into the game, 44, 40, 78 splits. Agwumike 52, 35, 82 splits. Like Gabby 46, 34, 81. Like, this not a team you play around with, man. And they found a way. This is a confidence booster. Like, we can rumble. They 4th best team in the league record wise, man. So yeah, man. And now with the win, the Missy's jump, all the way. I think the Fever won earlier too. So
yeah, they won earlier.
Yeah, so they in the tie for 6 and 7, but regardless, they're in the playoff hunt. You know what I mean? So they just gotta keep piling up wins. But man, for sure, hell of a win.
And so we saw the 2 games ago in the Aces against the Aces, a 12-2 run to close that game. Again, and then we saw them close this one with that dominant fourth quarter defensively. It's about learning how to win it. These are character building wins. Like tonight was one of the most impressive wins of the season for me, just defensively.
Absolutely.
It was outstanding, dude. Like, go ahead.
Because of their size, man. That's the thing that, you kind of look. A woman by herself is a problem. She could be in the front court by herself. And Gabby, she's, for people that may not know, she defensively, I know the ladies don't like us comparing the men, but I gotta bring it home with. She's like a Robin. She fucks up everything. Like that's what she does defensively. Guards 1 through 5, but can still hit outside shots, make the right reads, pass. She's a all-world defender, but she can get it done offensively. She's just unselfish on that end. She just makes the right plays. She don't really care about trying to get 30. You know what I mean? I just spoke about Skylar Ezzy. She's the X factor most nights because of her size and skill set. She's just a problem. But then you got like proven vets like Wheeler, Tiffany Mitchell, Alicia Clark coming off the bench, man. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like they're no joke, but even with that, we didn't even bring up the Mystics bench. The Mystics bench outplayed them. They had edge in like 17-12, which was needed because the Mystics bench for the most part, Leah Edwards was huge. 9-3. Last few games, that bench kind of been MIA. You know what I mean? The starters had to carry it. So it was good to see them start to catch some life on the road and, make an impact when they was in the game, man, because they needed it. They don't, especially with the way the Mystics, one negative is they didn't shoot the ball well from deep. It was 3 or 14. And then they was 68% from the free throw line. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just like they have the talent for their record to be a lot better than what it is, but they do a lot of things where it's like just self-inflicted wounds. Either it's a lot of turnovers or they shooting bad from 3, but they just keep shooting, or they not making their free throws. It's always something, and it's usually 2 of the 3 where it's beating them. They were able to survive the night because their defense was just hell. You know what I mean? So, but they want to clean this up because you got one here, but let's say you go on the road, you're dealing with the Lynx or the Liberty especially when they get John Quill back, that's not gonna fly. And I think they know that.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. What you're talking about is what they need to continue to build to, is get to the point where you're competing like that every night defensively, but take away the self-inflicted wounds. Mm-hmm. You do that, it's easy. I could think 3 to 5 games a season alone, where it's like, hey, if you unchecked a couple of those boxes that hurt you, mm-hmm. the outcomes are easily different. That said, they game over 500. They got one more game before the All-Star break, and they got a chance if they win that one. To head into the All-Star break on some real good momentum.
Yes.
So that's something to keep in mind. Also for this one, you brought it up too. being in Seattle, Tiffany Mitchell gave them a big night for she gave her team a big night. She shoots 29% from three on the year, and she was hitting. She hit what could have been back-breaking threes at times against the Mystics, and again, we've seen them. I like the fact that they're kind of battle tested. They really don't blink. But again, that goes back to that bigger point we continue to talk about. With all the things they do well, the mental resilience, and we've talked about that. You take away the self-inflicted wounds, there's a whole lot of stuff that makes things a little bit easier for them. Because even in this one, like you said, the free throws.
Yes.
Like they were getting to the line, the free throws. And Sykes, Slims and Mace. There was a couple times she's turning the corner on that last play where she got to the cup. Tiffany Mitchell's a good size on the wing, a very good defender. Has been her calling card to our basketball career. You're that quick that you're turning the corner with that much burst where by the time Ezzy got you, the ball's out your hand.
She's a freak. She's a freak athlete, man. See, people think when you say athleticism, people think about how high you jump. No, athleticism is quickness, is speed, is stopping on a dime and then accelerating back to full speed. Like if you was running full speed, it's all of that. You know what I mean? It's strength. It's all of that combined, right? And she's 1-on-1, and then that's why, she's one of the more, dangerous players in the WNBA by far, man. She's a problem when she got the ball in her hand. Like that game winner, that was out somebody. She rejected the screen in crunch time, took a dribble and was at the rim. You know what I'm saying? Laying the ball up over McBeggar. So big time. I also want to give Kiki her props, man, breaking a single season record for double doubles. I believe that's what it was. She had 10 points, 10 rebounds tonight. I believe Shamika Holsclaw had it before her. That's for rookies. My fault for rookies. That's big time. And I had some forwards. You on mute?
Yeah, my fault. I was saying, just throw this in. She's accomplished this before the freaking All-Star break.
Yeah, she's gonna shatter that. Because see, now they're gonna tell her after the game. So every game she gonna, how many rebounds? All right, let me go. But it's good. It's gonna motivate her. I'm about to put this on out of reach, man. And by her putting it out of reach, it's gonna help the team. So it's not even something selfish to go after unless she's just jacking shots, which we know that's not her. She's not gonna be trying to do that. But man, it just look. They got it right in this draft class. Shoot, we just need, if Georgia matches it next, then they on
Georgia
their way.
follows suit. Like this is one of those draft classes where like this was a foundation for whatever happens after that. Right now, we know for sure you hit 2 out the 3. Georgia just hits the same place the other 2 hit.
I can't even think of a draft class, WNBA or NBA, where 2 rookies came right in and just kicked ass and were all stars. You lucky if you get one, and they make an all-star team at any point. It's like, and then to hit the jackpot in your first year with the new regime, new GM Jamila Wideman, Sidney Johnson as head coach. Like it just speaks volumes, man. But yeah, the scouts did a good job. What can you say? And if they got it wrong, look where they would be.
Oh man, discussions be totally different discussions right now, for sure. All right, player of the game for this one.
Oh, obviously Brittany. Gotta give it to Brittany.
No arguments there at all. X Factor.
Man, there's a lot of X Factors, man. You look, that defense was on point. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give it to C-Tron, man. I'm gonna give it to C-Tron. She locked up Gabby. She shut down Gabby, and Gabby couldn't stop her. 17, and Gabby's one of the ones defensively that lets you know. C-Tron legit. Like
that's anytime you walk on the court, Gabby's assigned to you.
It's more than likely gonna be a long night. but she found a way. 17 points, 5 of 11, got to the free throw line. Look, she ain't have no assists and no rebounds. That's rare for her. But like I said, with Gabby, you got to pick your poison. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get much. So
We're gonna take every bit of what you got.
Yeah. So, but on the return, her defense was on point, man. She held Gabby to 2 and 9, 6 points. Even though Gabby had 5 rebounds, 4 assists. To be a rookie doing that, again, that's why she's an all-star.
It's the consistency from both of them. Like it's I can't even really be like their lows, but like some of their down games, it's not that far away from the regular level. To where we've seen the really big games, it's like, all right, cool. That's who knows what the bar is going to be going forward, but they've been crazy consistent for rookies. They've been crazy consistent, period. You want to take the rookie label off them and whatnot, but shout out to them. And again, credit to the Mystics. It's the second 3-game win streak of the season. They're now 1 game over 500. The next game is Tuesday night against LA. I know on the broadcast they said that might be, we'll find out if it's true or not. That might be Cam Brink's first game back since she got hurt in her rookie year, which means there's going to be a lot of young, talented bigs on that court come Tuesday. But either way, we appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all on Tuesday for another episode of Mystics Outlook.